The Once Human closed beta 3 test is right around the corner. It's actually on April 3rd, and there's 5 things that they are adding to this closed beta that we know about for sure. I'm sure there's a lot more, but for right now, these are the 5 biggest changes that are coming. So we have Eternaland, we have the phone beta, we've got new servers coming, we have something called LightForge Medals, which is their microtransaction currency, and also they're making a huge change to Deviants to make them more, I think, like Palworld or Pokemon. So let's deep dive into each of these things, and I'll tell you as much as I know about. They have announced that the game will do seasonal content where the world will reset, but there are still some things that will carry over. And these things are like in-game tokens, weapon and gear blueprints, mods, skins, building blueprints, titles, in-game friends, and stuff like that. But other things like inventory resources such as materials, components, medicines, ammo, gear, and even your whole base that you've built during the whole season, all of this will be transferred to something called Eternaland. But what the hell is Eternaland? Well, it's going to be your own personal permanent mini world where it doesn't matter what season it is, everything stays the same. Everything you bring in there, everything you build, it'll always be there. Now, you can visit Eternaland anytime and interact or bring things into it at any time, and there are no limitations in this area, unlike the main game. So in the main game, you can only build your hideout so high or so wide. Well, in Eternaland, you can build really anything you want. You can build, I think it sounds like a cul-de-sac. You can build a giant hotel if you want. That it's all up to you. Players can also implement their own gameplay rules in their Eternaland. So when you invite your friends and say you want to build a racetrack for them to race on, you can. This kind of made me pique my interest because of something I heard from the dev blog a bit ago.
We are now creating some EDM music festival inside the game, and that will be hosted on the snowy mountain. So players, they can listening to the music festival while skiing.
I wasn't interested in the EDM music festival part. I think that's kind of cheesy and already overdone, but they said you can listen to EDM music while skiing. So we can now ski in this game. So does that mean I can make my Eternaland like a ski resort, like it's my own Whistler? I'm not sure, but I like season resets. I understand why they do them, but I also understand that a lot of the community might actually hate this. I like them because then it introduces fun new mechanics, storylines to the new season, but it also makes people feel like you can get into the game without feeling so far behind. Another really big announcement that they made about closed beta 3 was they're adding European servers. And this is huge because in the last beta, they only had West Coast servers. So anyone that was really in Europe had super laggy frame rate. There was a lot of rubber banding going on, and they couldn't really play the game, nor let alone give their impressions on this game because it was so bad. So I'm really excited to hear that they're going to have a chance to play this without that massive rubber band. Also, they are going to be doing language support for French and German. And yeah, I'm super pumped that they're doing this. It's going to be nice to hear what my friends over in Europe have to say about this game. They actually have another beta running in the background of the PC version. They're going to be testing out the mobile version of the game. It's already up on the Google Play Store. You can register to play there, but you can apply on their website. It's a different application than applying for the PC version, so make sure you do both. And I'm excited and hoping that the mobile version takes off because it'll be really dope to be able to just hang out somewhere if you're bored and be like, I'm just gonna go build something, or I'm gonna go mine some more while I have time. But the worry is NetEase is doing this version of the game, and NetEase is known for doing really heinous microtransactions in a lot of their games. But Starry Studios has said over and over again, don't worry, we're going to have no pay to win like items in this game. There's going to be nothing pay to win. The only thing it's going to be is really cosmetics and maybe a battle pass later on. So remember, you have to apply for the PC version of this game, and if you want to get into the mobile version, it's a separate application process. And if I do get in, I applied for it. If I get in, I'm hoping to get some footage for you guys and say my opinions about the mobile version too. Speaking of microtransactions, they have announced on their Discord that they are adding something called LightForge Medals to the game, which is what I think is their microtransaction currency. And I'm just going to talk about some of the big bullet points here. So they're saying that this stuff is going to be obtainable through various in-game events during the testing phase. I'm guessing that you're not going to be able to buy it at this current moment because it is a beta, but you will still be able to gather a bunch of it just by doing certain things in the game. Returning players from the previous test will receive LightForge Medals accumulated from their participation in the last test upon creating a character in Closed Beta 3. During Closed Beta 3, a simulated version of the LightForge Medal Exchange Shop will be available, allowing players to experience and preview select outfit options, including the complete set of Scarlet Dragon outfit, costing 50 LightForge Medals. I'm guessing this is the big set that they want to really show what they're looking for in the future. Like, this is probably going to be like, hey, we're thinking about, when it comes to microtransactions, something like this Scarlet Dragon outfit. What do you guys think? This is one of the coolest parts in this whole blog post here, or Discord post, sorry. They said, regardless of spending during this test, all LightForge medals earned across all Once Human tests will be fully reimbursed upon the game's official launch, opening up an exchange shop for players to redeem items obtained. I think this is really fair, right? We're going to be able to get a bunch of LightForge medals, and it doesn't matter how much we spend during this Closed Beta 3. When the game officially launches, we'll get all of that back. So maybe that's saying we can buy some, but I think what it's saying is just test it out. Try the, the multi-transaction store out, see if you like it, and what do you think, right? So it's important to note that items obtained from the simulated exchange shop during this test will not carry over to the official launch, but that's okay because we're going to get all those medals back. And this event starts with the Closed Beta 3 and will end Tuesday, April 23rd. So they're only going to be doing this shop for, it looks like 25 days, but I'm pretty sure that this beta is going to be going on for 42 days. So I don't know what the reasoning of that is, but hey, it's only going to last 25 days. Now, how are you going to get these LightForge medals? Well, weekly login events, players can earn 10 LightForge medals per week for the first 3 weeks of the test, and simply logging in once a week, totaling up to 30 medals. Also, experience manual. By logging in daily, players can unlock chapters in the manual similar to the journey tasks, with a total of 7 chapters, each containing achievable challenge tasks. Completing part of these tasks within the chapter will grant 1 LightForge medal per chapter, and each chapter unlocked will also provide 1 extra LightForge medal. It sounds like we're going to be able to get a total of 24 from just doing this. I think it's fair because A, they're giving us all this stuff back. It doesn't sound like we're going to be able to purchase them. They just want our opinion probably on the currency, how we get the currency, and is the stuff in the store even cool enough that we'd want to even maybe buy LightForge medals to get it. The biggest change I think that's coming for Closed Beta 3 though is how Deviants work in Once Human. Deviants were these pet-like creatures that you would get in game by fighting bosses, finding them in the wild, or even just fishing. And when you watch a trailer and you see these weird creatures in people's backpacks, those are Deviants. Now, what you would do in the last Closed Beta is capture these and go to your hideout and build something called securement units. You'd put them in there and then you'd have to try to make them happy. What you would do is learn their likes and dislikes of each deviant because they're all different. So one might like, say, green light on them, so you'd have to build a light on top of their securement unit. It would be shining down on them. Or one might like music, so you'd build a table next to their unit and put a radio next to it. Doing all these things would make the deviant happy, and it would produce a material called deviant power, which then you can make certain formulas using that power, and it would last a certain amount of time. So one example of this is the wings formula, which makes it so anytime you jump off a big ledge or a building, you would glide down from a bird, and then you can get to, say, hard to reach places. But doing all these things was kind of tedious, and it wasn't really the most fun because it was like juggling multiple Tamagotchis at once in your base, and it kind of took you away from playing the game, I found. So in Closed Beta 3, the complexity and difficulty of deviant containment will be significantly reduced, they said, compared to previous deviant system, making it easier for players to meet the environmental requirements of the deviants. They also just didn't do really anything but chill in your backpack. So now it looks like you can get these Pokemon-like deviants that hang out with us and will help us in combat, resource collecting, or even farming. Here's a couple that they showed off to us. We've got the logging beavers, which excel at chopping trees. Fun fact, researchers revealed that logging beavers have a rather pronounced accent. As a Canadian, this gets my nod of approval. We also have Dr. Teddy. When Dr. Teddy comes across an injured human, he opens his head to retrieve medication with knowledge and surgical skills equivalent to that of a chief physician. They are sure to provide significant assistance. So I'm pretty sure I saw in the trailer that they posted is it looks like when you get downed, Dr. Teddy will give you an auto revive. And then there's also Mr. Wish. Mr. Wish dual wields guns for firepower support. When you find yourself in a tight spot, Mr. Wish will certainly help you blast your way out. Now, this is just a few of the ones that they announced, but I am liking that they want these deviants to play a bigger role and also for you to actually care about them. You will still be able to gain access to a range of rare recipes for whim potions and tactical items by collecting deviants, and this just all sounds really great to me, but the thing I'm hoping is that they didn't just play too much Pal World and feel like they had to shoehorn a system like that into their game. The last thing I quickly want to touch on is something I didn't mention at the intro, but it is that they are adding PvP servers to the game. In PvE servers, there is PvP, but you have to go out and find it or go to certain areas like the Dark Zone is in the Division. But in PvP servers, it's just exactly that. There's always PvP happening around you. Thankfully, until you reach level 10, you are safe. And I will be starting on a PvE server, but once I get my bearings, find out all the new stuff, and just try the game out for a bit, I will be making a character on the PvP server because I think it just sounds fun and it sounds like it's going to be a third-person Rust kinda. So I'm really excited to test those out too. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember, the beta comes out on Wednesday, April 3rd. You have to sign up for the PC version from their website. It'll be in the description down below, and also separately if you want to get in on the phone version, that's on their website too, same place. And yeah, thank you guys so much. If you enjoyed the video, hey, subscribe to the channel. It's free for you guys. It does mean the world to me. And remember, on the 3rd, I will be streaming a lot on twitch.tv/Geekseh. Come by, hang out. Until next time, I'll talk to everyone later.